And welcome to our web schedule training. The web schedule login page will be located here under the web schedule drop down. When you click on that, it will take you to the login screen where you'll put in your username and your password. And you'll notice there is a forgot password. If you happen to forget your password, you can enter your user ID and click on submit. This will give you an updated password that you can come back and put in, and we'll show you here how you can update your password once you're back in the website. So let's go ahead and log in and take a look. Now once you log in, you'll notice you have a scheduling box on the left and a user profile box on the right. Under the user profile, if you click on that, the first thing that comes up is your contact info. And don't worry, this is not available to anyone except yourself. This is there so that you can see what information 5-Star has on file. So if you notice any information here that needs to be updated, please go back to the website and go to the employee records update and update your information. Next, you'll notice there's a password link on the right. If you click on this, you can put in your old password or your current password and then put in a new password that's something that's easy for you to remember. And we recommend that you update the password once you log into the system for the first time. Going back to the home screen here, scheduling is where you're going to spend most of your time. When you log in, you'll click on the scheduling link. And this brings up a calendar type layout here. And just for the purposes of this training video, I'm going to take us back to some shifts that I have set up for training purposes. So we're going to go back to a February calendar here. Now you'll notice first off the layout of the calendar, there are some times here. When you see a time listed on this, this is a currently scheduled shift. So if you click on that, there will be a little pop-up box that comes up. It tells you the date, the start time, and where you're working at. And if the scheduler has put any notes in there, you'll be able to see that here as well. What you want to do for self-scheduling is look for the button over here on the left that says self-schedule. Click on that button and it'll bring you into the self-scheduling screen here. The first thing you have to do is pick a date range. So since we've already picked a date range that we want to look at here from February 1st through the 28th, and you can look at any 31-day period at a time. You'll use the Go button over here on the far right of the screen. We'll click on that. And boom, it brings up a list of available shifts. Now scheduling is done by selecting these shifts on the left. One of the things you'll have to look for when you schedule is notice that these first few events here are all on the same date and they have different times that are listed. So when you go to schedule for these shifts, let's say you wanted to try to pick this top one at University of Houston and you said, oh, I want to work at the Verizon too, and you submit that, because you've picked two shifts that are at the kind of have conflicting times, it will say no shifts are available and it will not allow you to pick those shifts. So what you'll have to do is determine which shift you want. Go ahead and pick that shift and click on submit. Now the following shift has been assigned. Now if you go back to the schedule, you'll notice here now that you have an additional date that you can click on, and it'll pop up and tell you that you have now been scheduled for the University of Houston Dynamo soccer game. And that's how quick and easy it is to schedule yourself for a shift. Now please make note, we'll go back to the shift scheduler here, that you are not allowed to unschedule yourself for any shifts. So as you go through the available shifts, make sure that before you select one and submit, that you're sure that's something that you want to work. Now you'll notice here when we came back in and we clicked on shifts again, there's fewer shifts available. What the system does is if you've selected a shift at a certain time range, when you go back and to look at those shifts again, it's not going to show you other shifts that are available on that same date during that same time period, so that you can't schedule for conflicting shifts. We can look at these though and see there's a couple of other dates that are available to us here on the 3rd and one on the 5th, and I'm available for both of those, so we'll go ahead and select both of those and click on submit. The following shifts have been assigned. And we'll go back to the schedule and notice now that each of these shifts that we have selected have been assigned. So if you schedule for a shift and something does come up, there's an emergency, or you can't make a shift, what you're going to need to do is call one of our schedulers and they will have to take you off of that shift. So when you make your selections, just be careful, make sure that you're available and ready to work those shifts. Now, if you want to print your shifts or have a little bit of an easier layout so you don't have to click on each shift to see, exactly where you're working and use this pop-up screen, what you're going to want to do is right here in the middle of the screen, there is a month, week, and day layout. If you click on the week layout, you'll see that it'll bring up those same shifts, but it goes ahead and lists the locations and the event service that you've scheduled yourself for. And this is the layout that we recommend if you want to print your schedule. You can just go up to File, and we'll do a print preview here. And of course, there is your schedule. You might choose to change this to landscape format, and you can go ahead and print this page out as your weekly schedule. And basically, that's all there is to using our self-scheduling module. You'll be able to log in at any time. You'll be able to pull up available shifts. You'll be able to look at the shifts, and if something's already been scheduled over the phone, those shifts will also appear here in the self-scheduling module.